A woman linked to your ex just made a shocking confession behind your back. She is terrible. Archangel Michael says. The air around you tightens like a fist, not to hurt you but to hold everything still for a moment of truth. A voice you did not expect has already spilled what was sealed, and the floor beneath old memories begins to tremble. This is the hour your spirit steps out of the shadows and claims the light with steady, fearless feet. She thought whispers would keep growing in the dark, but the dark cannot hold what is already cracking open. She believed your courage would fold, but your courage was never made of paper. It was forged from nights you survived when nobody clapped, and from mornings you rose anyway. Her confession did not arrive with kindness, it arrived with the weight of her own guilt. She did not intend to free you, yet her words snapped the last thread of a story you no longer need to carry. The room changed the moment truth touched the air, and you changed with it, quietly, completely. She told on herself when she tried to wound you, and the wound curved into a doorway. She revealed more than she planned, and the echo of her voice betrayed the fear she tried to disguise. Now the path is visible where fog lived for months, and your next steps gleam like wet stone after rain. There were messages she deleted, timelines she twisted, and favors she traded with people who mistook gossip for power. She passed your name around like counterfeit currency, spending it to buy attention that never lasts. Every lie left a receipt, and the ledger is full. You felt the strange tug in your chest on those heavy evenings, the kind that says something is off even when the room looks tidy. Your intuition was knocking, and you were kind enough to open. You did not need proof to be right, but proof has arrived to keep peace company. She tried to wear your story like a costume at a party and stumbled over the hem. She rehearsed lines that do not fit her mouth, and truth kept slipping through her teeth. Your silence made more sense than all her noise, because silence is a teacher and noise is a mask. She called old favors, planting doubts like brittle seeds in soil already done giving. The ground did not want what she offered, because the ground knows the weight of real roots. You are rooted, and roots that go deep do not fear wind. Your ex stood at the edge of her theater, clapping when the lights were dim and staring when they were too bright. She wanted a duet and dragged the past into the spotlight. She forgot the audience changed, and you no longer perform for pain. You put in the quiet work, building a life without a stage and applause. You folded your mornings carefully, ironed your afternoons with purpose, and tucked your nights in with gratitude. That kind of life does not crumble under rumors, it inhales, exhales, and continues. She bragged that she could ruin the way people see you, and the sky did not even blink. She stretched and twisted, and the sky kept doing sky things, wide and patient. You are learning to be like that sky, too vast to be boxed by small stories. This confession is not a dagger anymore, it is a key. It turns where you once rattled and frees where you once froze. Doors that used to groan open easily now, because the house of your soul wants fresh air. She admitted to reading chats that were not hers, forwarding moments that were never meant to leave your hands. She admitted to using your kindness as a prop while she auditioned for someone else's approval. She admitted to lighting tiny fires and fanning them till her face felt warm. Your boundaries lift like gates and they do not slam. They close with a softness that still means business. You are not shutting the world out, you are letting integrity in. The map of who you are becomes clear enough to follow with closed eyes. The mirror does not flinch when you approach it anymore. Your reflection is not a courtroom, it is a home. You step toward it as a friend and find that your face holds the weather of a survivor who learned how to rain and how to clear. She told on herself when she listed your supposed flaws and accidentally described her own cravings. She confessed to wanting your steadiness because her world keeps tilting. She confessed to wanting your peace because chaos has been her favorite excuse. You kept loving people past their storms, and that is why your harbor is precious. You learned to keep a lantern lit without burning your fingers on the flame. You learned to leave the door unjammed without leaving yourself unlocked. In the kitchen of your life, you cleaned counters nobody praised you for cleaning. You washed plates nobody thanked you for washing. You made meals out of little and served them warm to people who arrived late and forgot their manners. Let that be part of your victory, too. The ordinary courage, the small brave. The quiet again and again that stacks into a mountain. She tried to summon pity by pretending she was a puppet when she chose her strings. She told someone close that she did it because she could not stand your glow, and in saying it, she revealed the cure she refuses to take. Glow is not an insult, glow is a direction. Your ex, pulled like a tide by her theater, will have to choose the shore that does not drown him. That is not your rescue to perform. Your rescue is already underway, and it looks like you choosing yourself without apology. Your phone may buzz with echoes, but your heart does not have to. You are allowed to mute what does not build you. You are allowed to leave messages on read when the message is a rerun. The best evidence of who you are is how you keep your promises when nobody is watching. The best testimony is how you speak to yourself when the room is empty. That truth is bigger than her confession and steadier than his confusion. She admitted that she wore envy like perfume, and everyone smelled it except her. She admitted that she fed on attention and got hungrier, not fuller. She admitted that she pressed your name against her fear and expected it to stop breathing. Your name breathes fine. It is attached to work that matters and to people who matter. It is attached to mornings that begin without dread and to nights that end without regret. There is a list you carry of things you will no longer do, and it grows in kindness. You will not explain yourself to people devoted to misunderstanding you. You will not argue with a storm about being wet. The ground beneath you is old, but the path ahead is new. You walk it without dragging old chairs to rest on. You walk it with a backpack of lessons and pockets full of quiet victories. Forgiveness is not an invite back into the house, it is you sweeping your porch. Forgiveness is the moment you put the broom down and realize the air smells cleaner. Forgiveness is a boundary with sunlight on it. She confessed to stealing your words and wearing them like jewelry. The necklace felt heavy because it did not belong to her neck. You are not missing anything that belongs to you, because what is yours knows your pulse. Your laughter returns like a song you forgot you knew. It fits in the morning and in the evening. It fits in the middle of errands and in the middle of new dreams. You will hear your name in rooms you have not entered yet, and it will sound like respect. You will hear your story told by people who listened, not lurked. You will feel the architecture of your life settle into strong lines. Let today be a simple ceremony. You thank the lessons and close the chapter. You thank your younger self for holding on till you arrived. The season that held your breath has exhaled. The season that holds your voice invites it forward. Your voice is not a hammer, it is a bell. You do not need revenge because the mirror already graded every performance. You do not need proof because peace is proof. You do not need a final word because your next step speaks. Keep your circle like a garden, tended and honest. Water what answers with growth. Prune what refuses the sun. Her confession will travel the way wind travels, touching faces and moving leaves. Some will look up, some will pretend nothing stirred. You do not need to measure who looked up, only how you keep walking. Write your boundaries on your calendar and honor them like sacred appointments. Eat your meals slowly as if patience were a spice. Sleep like a person whose future trusts them. You are not behind. You are not missing the train. You are the track and the engine and the horizon that keeps widening. If a memory knocks, let it take off its shoes. If a feeling arrives, let it speak in a calm room. If an old ache sits beside you, let it finish its tea and leave. Your heart is not a stage for her encore. Your heart is a garden with gates that swing only inward for what is worthy. Worthiness recognizes itself and does not need to be convinced. The woman who confessed taught you one more lesson she did not plan to teach. People can borrow your name but not your character. People can mimic your voice but not your breath. You walk forward without raising your fists, and that is a different kind of strength. You wave to the past from a distance, and that is a different kind of closure. You choose depth over drama, and that is a future choosing you back. Breathe in the room you have earned. Breathe out the rooms you outgrew. Stand up slowly and watch the floor stand with you. There is a light above your name that does not flicker when gossip arrives. There is a hand on your shoulder that does not move when weather turns. There is a rhythm to your days now that feels like returning home after a long road. Keep the friends who correct you with tenderness and celebrate you without agenda. Keep the plans that feed your purpose and cancel the ones that starve it. Keep the promises you make to your sleep, your food, your breath. Tonight will be ordinary and that will feel like a miracle. Tomorrow will be brighter and that will feel like a decision. The days after will add up until the past looks small in the rearview. The woman who confessed will keep living the math of her choices. Your job is not to calculate her totals. Your job is to invest in your peace and watch the returns multiply. This chapter closes without a slam. It closes with a click that sounds like a seatbelt, and you are safe inside your own life. The road ahead opens, and the steering wheel belongs to your two steady hands. You are free in ways you have not yet measured. You are seen in ways that do not need a spotlight. You are loved in ways that do not require performance. Walk. Drink water. Answer only to your highest name. Your peace remains. Your future listens. Your heart leads. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Your timeline stretches like a ribbon that will not snap anymore. You hold it with both hands and feel how strong the weave has grown. Threads that once tangled now lie smooth and sure. People will try to read the story of your life out loud, but they cannot pronounce what they have not lived. Your lessons are written in a language that requires humility to understand. You carry that language in your bones and it will not be stolen. The woman who confessed opened a window and the stale air escaped. Fresh air does not argue as it enters a room meant for healing. You inhale with purpose and exhale with gratitude. Each rumor she launched returns to her with a stamp of origin. You do not need to chase any of it because truth does its own traveling. Your energy is reserved for building, not for pursuit. You choose integrity like a daily uniform that never goes out of style. It fits at work, at home, and in the mirror. Comfort arrives when your inner and outer life match. The memories that tried to trap you now behave when you enter the room. They sit quietly and wait for your permission to speak. You give them boundaries and they obey. You will notice how the right people begin to lean in. They speak your name with care as if carrying glass across a floor. They will match your calm and mirror your courage. The false friendships thin out like fog under a rising sun. You do not mourn the mist because clear weather is a gift. The horizon belongs to those who can see it. Your habits turn into a lighthouse that does not blink during long nights. It stands because you stand. It shines because you chose the bulb of discipline instead of the candle of drama. You bless your mornings by showing up on time for yourself. You bless your afternoons by choosing what matters over what whispers. You bless your nights by closing doors gently and sleeping like a promise kept. Whatever she hoped to take has become the exact thing she delivered back. Your name is lighter than before and your steps are quicker. The path hums under your feet like a welcome. You honor the parts of you that stayed soft. You honor the parts of you that learned steel. You honor the sacred way they hold hands now. Your ex will learn from the silence that follows the theater. Silence can be a teacher when people finally stop clapping for the wrong show. Lessons arrive on time even when pride runs late. You return to the workbench of your dreams and tighten the bolts. You sand the edges until they stop catching on yesterday. The piece takes shape and you recognize your own craftsmanship. Nothing in you begs for the old room anymore. The furniture of those days does not fit your new house. You donate the past to time and keep only the wisdom. You measure progress in breaths that do not hurt. You measure progress in meals you taste fully. You measure progress in the way your name rests easy in your mouth. She called attention a crown and wore it crooked. You call peace a crown and wear it steady. Royalty is a posture, not a spotlight. Your spirit tunes itself to a frequency where gossip cannot broadcast. Your spirit protects its signal like a treasure. The right listeners always find the station. You are not a character in their script anymore. You are the author of your day and the editor of your boundaries. You rewrite what needs rewriting and publish the rest with courage. The streets you walk know your sound now. They echo back strength and direction. Even your shadow looks taller because your light is consistent. You will receive messages that test your softness. You will answer with clarity that never raises its voice. You will guard your joy like a gate that knows why it was built. Old triggers try to tug, but their strings are shorter. You acknowledge the pull and then keep moving. Mastery is motion without panic. Your calendar is a quiet revolution. It says yes to restoration and no to rehearsed chaos. It schedules recovery and keeps the appointment. The friends who remain will tell stories of your steadiness. The new friends will arrive already speaking the dialect of respect. Together they will sound like harmony in a room that once tolerated noise. Your body begins to unclench where it used to prepare for impact. Shoulder by shoulder the past lets go. Breath by breath the future takes its seat. The woman who confessed stands at the doorway of her own choices. You wish her clarity without offering yourself as a sacrifice. Compassion is not the same as access. You move like water around the stones that once blocked you. Flow learns the shape of freedom and keeps going. The river does not argue with the rock, it arrives at the sea anyway. Gratitude becomes a daily anchor that does not rust. You count what remains and find that it is enough. Enough grows when it is honored. Your home learns your new rhythm. Doors close without slamming and open without fear. Each room understands that you are the keeper of the key. Work greets you with cleaner lines. Projects align with core values. Progress becomes sustainable because you refuse to pay for success with your soul. The mirror smiles back because the story has changed. You do not ask it to prove anything. You simply recognize yourself fully and nod. You will notice how opportunity prefers people who carry truth lightly. It steps closer because it senses stability. It settles because it hears no hidden sirens. The past no longer advertises inside your chest. Its billboards came down overnight. In their place stand trees of patience and benches of rest. You allow joy to be practical. Warm socks on a clean floor. A meal that tastes like ease. A conversation that lands softly. Your name is a hallway that leads to a generous room. People who enter feel safe because you are safe with yourself. Safety is wealth and you are rich. The roads ahead split in your favor because you stop negotiating with your own worth. You do not audition for places your soul cannot breathe. You invest where the air is honest. Everything you survived secretly trained you for gentleness. Strength without gentleness bruises. Gentleness without strength bends. You carry both and they travel well together. When a memory demands a microphone, you give it a pen instead. It writes quietly until it understands itself. Then it folds and returns to the drawer. You bless the chapter by naming it complete. You place it on the shelf without bitterness. Completion is an art and you learn the brushstrokes. Your future sends small signals through your day. A laugh that arrives early. A door that opens easily. A thought that fits like it has been waiting for you. You are the calm after your own storm. You are the architect after your own demolition. You are the soft closing of a healed door. May your steps continue to adore the ground that carries you. May your hours continue to respect the person who lives them. May your name continue to honor the one who wears it. The confession that once felt sharp now feels distant. It dissolves into the background like a siren moving away. Peace returns to center and sits upright. You keep what is true and release what is heavy. You keep what is loving and release what is loud. You keep what is aligned and release what is addictive. Your next sunrise will not ask for explanations. It will ask for presence and you will give it gladly. You will stand at the window and know that you chose this quiet on purpose. Carry your life like a vessel brimming but steady. Carry your history like an education without retaking the exam. Carry your future like an oath you intend to keep. Who you are does not need defending. Who you are needs room. Room is the gift you give yourself with every boundary and every brave step. You do not owe any stage your performance anymore. You owe your breath your loyalty. You owe your heart your protection. The road widens for people who walk it with respect. You travel wisely and the road responds. The journey becomes friendship and the destination becomes familiar. Your story is safe with you. Your peace is safe with you. Your power is safe with you. The chapter continues but the weight does not. The path stretches but the fear does not. The light brightens and stays. Your heartbeat no longer accelerates at old names. It keeps a mature pace that respects your nervous system. It keeps a wise rhythm that refuses borrowed panic. You guard your mornings like clean paper. You let only worthy ink touch the margin. You allow only honest plans to enter the paragraph. Your inner house has new furniture. The chairs are built from boundaries and the table is carved from truth. Everything feels steady when you sit. You honor the version of you that believed the best until the last moment. You honor the version of you that finally saw what needed to be seen. You honor the version of you that chose the door and walked through. The woman who confessed still searches for mirrors that agree with her costume. Your mirrors no longer partner with pretense. Your mirrors carry only clarity and compassion. Your ex learns slowly that storms cannot be dated forever. He learns that calm has standards. He learns that you are not a shelter for weather he chooses. You give your energy where it multiplies. You withdraw it where it disappears. You notice how the math of peace always balances. Your voice is measured and firm. It travels only where it is respected. It does not audition for echo chambers. The streetlights seem brighter because your mind is quiet. The sidewalk feels safer because your spirit is present. The horizon feels closer because your steps are consistent. You prove to yourself that closure can be gentle. You prove that endings can be merciful. You prove that growth can be quiet. Your calendar contains routines that love you back. Hydration sits beside intention. Rest sits beside purpose. You no longer translate your worth for people fluent in chaos. You no longer discount your value for seats at cheap tables. You no longer rehearse speeches for rooms that profit from your confusion. Your sleep deepens because honest days are heavy with meaning. Your dreams soften because your mind is not debating the past. Your mornings rise because your body now trusts you. You keep receipts of joy instead of just evidence of pain. You collect small wins like polished stones. You place them where sunlight finds them. Your breath is a metronome for new work. Your hands become faithful instruments. Your vision becomes a practical map. You declutter conversations that used to circle. You streamline decisions that used to wobble. You simplify choices that used to demand a committee. The phone that once delivered tremors now delivers opportunities. The messages that once hinted at trouble now confirm alignment. The calls that once drained you now meet the voicemail they deserve. Your spine remembers its purpose. It stands without shouting. It carries your history without collapsing. You are learning to enjoy silence without suspicion. You are learning to enjoy love without audition. You are learning to enjoy progress without apology. Your peace now travels with you like a passport. It opens borders inside your day. It earns stamps without begging. You keep grace for yourself on the counter within reach. You use it generously when old echoes visit. You use it responsibly when new boundaries need patience. You let your story be simple where it can be simple. You let your story be complex where it must be complex. You let your story be true everywhere. The woman who confessed cannot outrun natural consequences. She may change or she may not. Either way, you are no longer on the hook. You refuse to police narratives that do not involve your consent. You refuse to revive scenes that already finished. You refuse to leak energy for free. Your friendships mature into steady bridges. They carry weight without creaking. They hold trust without tolls. You treat your body like a partner instead of a vehicle. You feed it respect. You dress it in safety. Your workbench gathers meaningful dust. Projects move forward one honest inch at a time. Completion begins to look inevitable. You celebrate the day in balanced doses. A task finished counts as celebration. A boundary kept counts as celebration. A kindness to yourself counts as celebration. You accept that not everyone will understand your quiet. You accept that not everyone will congratulate your peace. You accept that not everyone deserves a seat near your center. The past loses its leverage because your present is solvent. The rumors lose their interest because your story is not for sale. The drama loses its audience because you left the theater. You find music that feels like recovery. It plays while you cook simple meals. It plays while you clean rooms that love you. The sky keeps modeling how to be wide. The earth keeps modeling how to be grounded. The river keeps modeling how to move. Your standards remain kind without being negotiable. Your empathy remains warm without being naive. Your boundaries remain firm without being sharp. You notice patterns with calm precision. You choose exits without fanfare. You choose entrances with intention. The next person you love will meet a clear soul. The next person you trust will meet a mature heart. The next person you welcome will meet a well-lit room. You practice saying no like a complete sentence. You practice saying yes like an oath. You practice saying nothing like wisdom. You stop rescuing people from their lessons. You stop volunteering for roles you did not accept. You stop explaining decisions that protect your peace. The confession that once traveled like lightning now lies like a dull wire. It cannot shock you again. It cannot flirt with your fear. You carry your gratitude like a warm coat. It fits every season. It suits every occasion. Your home becomes a sanctuary on purpose. The door knows who to open for. The walls know what to echo. You keep your attention expensive. Only worthy events can afford it. Only worthy people can hold it. You edit your digital life with the same care as your inner life. You unfollow chaos. You bookmark nourishment. You plant projects that mature slowly and pay steadily. You allow time to be your partner instead of your enemy. You allow patience to collect interest. Your heart is no longer a courtroom for other people's denial. It is a studio for building honest futures. It is a library for storing wise pages. You replace old alerts with new affirmations. You replace old autopilots with new awareness. You replace old alarms with new agreements. The path ahead respects your stride. It does not rush you or stall you. It meets you step for step. You invest in learning that expands your capacity. You invest in rest that prevents collapse. You invest in community that knows your true name. The echoes try a last performance at the edge of your thoughts. They bow to an empty room. They fade without applause. You greet new days with a steady ritual. Water touches your hands. Light touches your face. Intention touches your calendar. Your laugh returns with fullness. It does not ask permission. It does not apologize for being loud enough to heal. You document your wins with quiet pride. You archive them where you can see them. You reference them when imposters knock.